before we start, let's start a couple of house cleaning items. Tax season's upon us, guys. We all hate paying taxes, but you know what, man? If you're fortunate enough to have a tax bill, that means you are fortunate enough to be making money. So think about it that way. Don't think about the fact that you have to pay tax. Think about the fact that you have a job. Think about the fact that, dude, you're blessed enough to have income. I mean, those are the things that are, it's like, oh, I have to drive my crappy car to work every day. You're blessed to have a car. Some guys have the bus, and the guys are taking the bus. Some guys don't even have feet, They're like, dude, they're disabled or something. So we always be blessed about what you have, guys. Don't worry about what you don't have. Be fortunate about what you do have. And so whenever the tax season comes along, I used to complain all the time. Everyone complains. Who doesn't want to pay? But the fact that we're blessed enough to be paying, it's I guess it's good karma, man. It's good karma. We all have to pay our dues and help other people out. So I don't want to get into politics, but it's tax season. You have to pay your taxes. And so with that, we have an MIC tax planning. You go to here. Let me pull it up, guys. So this is how you do it. We all have to pay our taxes, but you don't have to overpay your taxes. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Do not overpay your taxes. Keep your hard-earned money, guys. So if you go to my investing club, I should move over here. And then you go to tax planning. So this is how we met Brian. We met Brian just at a conference, just one of those stock conferences that everyone goes to. And, we hit it off. It turns out he's a CPA, certified CPA, legit and all that stuff. And he happens to be an active day trader. And so we said, why don't you help us out? I mean, everybody wants to save money because I've been overpaying taxes for forever because because not many accountants know what they are doing in terms of tax for day trading. They didn't even know that they could deduct locate fees and stuff like that. I swear to God, last year I had to argue with the CPA, which I probably won't use again, that locate fees were deductible because they didn't even know what that locate fee was. They're like, what is this strange thing? This is not. So they pull out this book, and then the book doesn't have the locate fee on it. And I'm like, dude, just don't worry about it. So I had to sign a release waiver form that she is not responsible if I get audited for these locate fees. Is that ridiculous? And so I was like, dude, Brian, can you help us out? And so Brian is in our chat room, guys. Brian's in our chat room. And so he came up with these packages. He's not making much money off this. I mean, imagine if you had a consultation from a lawyer, how much per hour it is. And this is all it takes, okay? So for a year, you can get, consulted by Brian. He's also in the MIC. He's actively trading within MIC large caps. And then, there's these other plans. And so the good thing about this is he can set you up with an entity. An entity is like an LLC that you can now start to deduct a bunch of things that you never was able to deduct before if you did not have the LLC. Okay? Such as my investing club. You can deduct chat rooms. You can actually deduct this tax planning. So it's kind of pretty awesome, man. So you can deduct all this stuff, okay? And so I was able to deduct. I mean, if you go out to conferences and you fly, guys, for MIC or to meetups or for whatever you're flying for trading reasons, training, education, it's all deductible, man. Hotels, airfare, food to the conferences, all those things. It's freaking amazing, guys. And so you basically save your own money. So it pays for itself, basically. It pays for itself. And so with tax season in mind, guys, check us out, myinvestingclub.com, tax planning. These fees are pretty much nothing, guys, because they're tax deducted. And then all the stuff like the MIC annual plan, is deducted. So pretty much you're getting it pretty much tax deducted for everything. Okay, so That's one thing I want to bring up, because tax season is upon us, guys. Don't waste money by giving it away. Learn to be able to deduct all these things that you are able to deduct. That's how rich people stay rich, man. Rich people stay rich by obviously making money, but at the same time not overpaying their taxes. And that's why people, so you don't have to be rich to take advantage of these tax laws. You just have to be knowledgeable. You just have to set up an entity in the correct way that Brian will help you. Okay. And that entity doesn't have to be for stocks. It could be for your other businesses. It could be if you are a homemaker, housewife, whatever it may be. If you have another business on the side, it can all be within this tax entity, right? And you deduct it. So, okay, with that in mind, oh yeah, one additional thing. I want to, Tosh, can you text your number? We created this hotline, guys. Tosh will text his number. So during this time, a lot of people have questions about all sorts of stuff, right? And so Tosh is kind enough to have this text set up for you guys, so that you can text him anytime you want about anything you like, okay? About MIC, about trading, about whatever you need to do, okay? So he is the one-stop shop to text. And so don't call him, though, because this number doesn't work for calls. It only works for text messages. And if you have relationship problems, maybe Tosh will help you out. Who knows? Okay, but with that in mind, let's start. So the topic I want to talk about is, how do you actually survive in these crisis times, right? And not only survive, but to profit. How do you not only survive, but to profit? So I'm going to tell you the honest truth right now. I'm not panicking. I mean, there's no reason to panic. The reason why is this. Chaos and turmoil creates opportunity. Volatility is opportunity for a day trader. What we like is volatility. If the market is flat, there is nothing to be made. If the market is going up and down, that is the range, that is the volatility for which you make money. And I call that opportunity. Okay, so whenever you think that there's panic on the streets, that's opportunity. Same thing with not even having to do with trading, right? If the real estate market is in turmoil, that's your opportunity to find the diamonds in the rough and then to make money off of that. But if the markets are flat, there is really no money to be made. And so think of these times as opportunity, not as panic. So if you think it's panic, you are already doomed to begin with. So every day I walk in, I'm like, okay, man, which one is went up way too much, which one went down way too much, you know what I'm saying? So the key is to keep to your process. You've trained all this time to get to this point. I hear a lot of traders say this is like the playoffs or the Super Bowl, right? And so the normal day trading days where there's really nothing going on, it's just the same old, that is just like your regular season football. During that time, you practice, you do your thing, you gather wins or whatever, and then you can think of paper trading, virtual trading, education as preseason. So football, even football guys paper trade or paper play their games. No one just walks in and starts playing the playoffs, right? They go through the Pee Wee leagues, high school, college, the draft, preseason. You see all this, and so all these guys are like, "Oh, I'm not going to learn. I'm not going to practice. I'll just go in there and just kick butt." Right? I mean, it doesn't work like that, guys. At the top level, you always have to practice, and so when I think of these turmoil days, these are the playoffs. And to be honest, you don't have to participate. That's the first tip. If you're not ready, you do not have to participate. Why are you participating in turmoil unless you have trained properly for it? And so we've been seeing a lot of signups lately for MIC, and that is because those guys are smart, guys. They're smart. They are now realizing, holy crap, the market is in
chaos. I am losing my butt in the 401k. I'm scared. I don't understand what's going on. Every time I turn on the news, there's a virus scare. There's people talking about the economy blowing up, chaos on the streets, the dollar going to zero, things like that. And so the first step is to educate yourself. Panic and fear comes from lack of knowledge, lack of information. It's basically being ignorant, all right? The guys that are overly fearful are basically scared because they do not understand. But if you fully understand, or close to fully, no one really fully understands, right? If you understand enough, you're not panicking. You are prepared. So there's a big difference between panicking and preparation. And so we are constantly within MIC preparing for days like yesterday. And it all comes down to the proper process. We are doing the same things over and over every day. It's just like, how do you prepare, to go to work every day? If you never had a job, going to work for the first time, it's kind of scary. Like, oh man, I don't know what to do. I drive during rush hour. I never drove during rush hour. There's a freaking carpool lane. Wow, I have to go an hour extra early because of the traffic. You see, so you panic. But over time, you do it all the time. It's preparation. And then what happens is, okay, now you go into work and there's an accident on the road. You're flipping out. You're freaking out because you've never seen an accident. But now you've seen an accident before. You're prepared for it, right? So same thing with I turn on the news and it's like, okay, the virus stock's cool. Instead of panicking, think I'm going to die, I'm going to go, holy fuck, how am I going to make money off this shit, right? It's kind of sad as it is, but you know what, man? I'm not hurting anybody. We are here just to trade the numbers on the screen and using that money to help our family, right? And so with that in mind, so the first tip, okay, there's a couple of tips I want to survive this market. The first is to prepare, to educate yourself. That's the number one thing. If you educate yourself on the virus, you realize, okay, this virus only really hurts the people that are compromised with bad lungs and stuff, right? And I'm young, I'm fit, so keep healthy. So knowledge of that is not going to make me fearful. I'm not fucking packing like 1,000 boxes of toilet paper, right? Like some of these guys are fearful, right? So I'm prepared. So the first step is preparation, guys. It's education. It's learning the process. So, and then the second tip is this. Don't deviate from your process. We wake up, just because the market is in turmoil doesn't mean that your trading should be in turmoil. You keep composure. Everything's the same every day. The only difference is now you have more opportunity. There's more stocks that are moving. There's more plays for you to look at. And so you could be either overwhelmed by them, or you can sit back and realize, oh my God, I have all these options. And for a person, let's say, so once again, it comes back to the preparation and experience, right? If a person never had so many opportunities before, they're gonna try to eat all the opportunity. It's like a starving person. Like, I've never, and you go to the buffet. What are you gonna do? You're gonna pig the fuck out. You're gonna blow up your belly. You're gonna go, oh, I'm so gross. I'm never eating another buffet in my life. Or for the guys that's gone to Vegas a lot and eaten a lot of buffet, they know exactly where to go. I'm going to go to the freaking king crab line. I'm going to avoid all this bread. You know what I'm saying? And for the guys that are prepared, they're like, holy crap, look at this nice loaf of bread. I'm going to eat all this shit. And then when they come out to the end, they go, holy shit, I'm too full to eat the king crab leg and the steak. But the experienced guys go straight for the steak, go straight for the king crab legs, and, they eat their money's worth, and then they can go and eat a slice of bread or whatever the hell you want to eat with it, right? So, same thing with trading, guys. When you are overwhelmed for the first time, you see all this opportunity, you start to think, holy crap, this opportunity may never come again. I'm going to grab the first thing that comes along, right? And so the tip is just, hey, settle down, relax, and, patience. You do not need to nail the top. You do not need to nail the bottom to make money. Your job is just to get in with the proper trend and take the meat, take the piece of the move. Okay, this is not an ego game where you're gonna post, oh, my charts are beautiful. Look, I held from the top all the way to the bottom, or I bought from the bottom, and now I have conviction. I'm not selling this sucker. I'm holding this thing forever. And then, oops, what happened? It comes back down, just like these stocks today, right, guys? And so you have to understand. Don't deviate. Don't get too greedy. Just opportunity gives you more options, more choices. And if you're careful about that, it's a great time to trade. But if you're overwhelmed, if you have all these issues that's affecting you before you even sit down. So that's another tip, man. Because turmoil in the markets creates also turmoil in your personal life. And so if something happens in your personal life because of the turmoil, like some family member gets sick and stuff, don't trade. Seriously, just don't trade, because that's going to affect you. Okay. So so part of trading is the psychology of it. If you come into the market panicked, if you come into the market desperate, you will be chopped up. Okay. And then the next thing is just relax. Do the same thing you're always doing. Size down. So during turmoil, what happens is the range is huge. It's amplified. What used to just move a little bit like this is now going boom, 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 boom. And so if you are not prepared for that extreme range and you do not properly size, you will pretty much blow up. You would have used what I call, you would have used all your bullets, and then there's nothing left. It's like, oh shit, the stock is here, because normally the stock would be like this, right? And then you've blown all your thing. And then now what happens is with volatility, it's like this. And so you did not give yourself ample opportunity to capture that move. I'm actually trading right now, but I shouldn't. Don't tell my tab. Just kidding. So sizing is very important. You need to size down for the range. So you have to take a look at the range. We call those the outer lines and all that, but these ranges are huge. And so you need to start sizing down to compensate for the range, because now the range is just going crazy. And so you need to save some bullets for up there, or you need to, and then that's the next step, right? The next step is you need to be very, very, very good with your risk management. Because I'm telling you right now, man, during these crisis times, guys that are adding to a loser will blow up. They will blow up. There's just no way around it, because the range is too much. Some of these stocks will never, ever even bounce again, guys. And I'm going to show you an example of a trade I did today. You'll see. So this sector is just crazy right now. And so you need to have the right proper sizing. Good risk management. You need to have a plan. That's the thing. You cannot panic. You need to pre-plan your trades. And notice all our videos are pretty much the same. Everything that I'm telling you is pretty much the same over and over. And it's by repetition that you learn these things, right, guys? It's process, pre-plan, predefine your risk. What I mean by predefine your risk is know exactly when and where you're going to enter and exit, and for what price to lose, and adhere to that. And all this can be helped with a tab, a trading accountability buddy, right, guys? So that in the time of turmoil, you need great trading buddies. You need to surround yourself with experienced guys that know what they're doing, or just a team of guys that just calm you down. And that's why like a chat room like MIC is great. People always say, "Oh, I don't need that." You know what, man? In life, everything is about teamwork. No man is an island, man. You cannot. At the top level, you need a team. Even these guys making $1 billion, Jeff Bezos, even these hedge fund managers, they're not a one-man team. They have their own chat room, an internal chat room with their own people advising them, each person with a different strength set. Like Alex is the best fucking disciplined guy. I'm not as disciplined as Alex. But you know what, man? I can see maybe better patterns, or I have a better feel for the top or bottom, but I am just more loose. And so together we work out very well. And so having a great team is essential. So with that in mind, I hope you guys understand those tips, and I want to show you how volatile this market is. Today we had an issue with DOS trading. The DOS platform went down, so I was flustered, man. I was so mad. You guys have no idea. I was so fucking pissed off because one of my platforms went down and all this stuff, and I had to calm down. Otherwise, I would just kill myself, right? So I calmed down and I started trading this other platform. And so here's the stock specs. So let's take a look at that. Let's go back to this chart. It's easier to see. So this is what specs was doing. This is a 3-day chart on specs. And this is that stock. These are the specs. And so what happens is this. So this is yesterday. So this we identified as a low-hanging fruit. Because what happened is it went up. And if you take a look at this, it's actually... Dude, it was starting from like 70 cents, went up to 5.50, came down. So what happens is once it broke, it finally broke the chart, and now it's on like a downtrend. We call that, and then we call that a low-hanging fruit, because what's going to happen is this: once the stock breaks down, it's a continuation breakdown the next day. So the continuation down next day, which is today. So I'm ready to short this thing on the bounces because it's already broken. The theory behind a low-hanging fruit that we created, a strategy low-hanging fruit, and this is a very high probability trade, and you can size the heck out of this, okay, if you get enough volume, is this. It went up so much, it went down so much, and so there's so many bag holders up here, guys. There's guys that are stuck at $3.50, $4, $5, just waiting, hoping to get out. On top of being a bag holder, there are guys that are short sellers trying to take advantage of trying to push the stock down because the stock is already broken, guys. It's already broken. So it's already broken. And so what happens is this: the next day, which is today, it hit $3 and it tanked down. I was not awake this is 7 o'clock, which would have been 4 o'clock my time. I was not up at 3 o'clock California time, so there's no way. Notice where I rejected. Let me give you a freebie lesson here. You see this $3 line? Boom. That is a whole number, mental resistance and all that good stuff, right? And so that became the resistance up here. And so when I woke up, I usually wake up around 7:30. So I already missed this thing up here. Actually, I didn't. Let me go see. But anyways, so this is what I traded today on this, okay? So using that low-hanging fruit theory, okay, this is the VWAP. So I missed this. Okay, obviously I was not awake for the $3 line. And then tanked down, and so I'm still sleeping. And then when I woke up, it already started tanking down here. I'm starting to cry, dude. This was at $2.15. This thing is $2.15. And I was crying, I missed it. It was $3. I want to short this thing $3. Please bounce. But never fear, guys. In trading, if you chase, you're going to get your ass kicked. Okay? Have patience. I'd rather miss the trade. Than to short too early. And so I waited for it to go back up to the resistance. And we call this the outer resistance, okay? Which is pretty much like, I'm not hitting it here. I'm not hitting it down here. I'm waiting for the VWAP area. So a good tip, guys, is if it breaks way below VWAP, when it goes back to VWAP, that is a resistance because that's the volume weighted average price that most people are in. And so they want to get the fuck out. They're stuck. They're bag holding. So when it comes back out, they're dumping. They're like, I just want to be even. I want to get the heck out. And so that's a good place to start scaling your shorts. And so you notice I started scaling my shorts here, a little bit below, and then boom, up here. And then when it went back down here, I covered. Because what happens is this was the support now. And this still hecka early, dude. It's only this is right when the market opened. It's still hecka early. And so I'm like, dude, it just went down so quick. It's like freaking 250 down to 220. And then I'm like looking at this and bounce up here. I don't want to get stuck. I don't want to be the guy that's stuck. So I took some off. I took some off so I could add it back higher. You see that? And so it parabolic back up. And notice where it rejected. It rejected around this area right here. So each one of these tops is a resistance line. Okay? So I started to freaking short as much as I can. And then what happens is this, guys. I got lucky. But you know what they say about luck, man? The more you practice, the luckier you get, guys. I got lucky and it halted. It halted limit down. Because these stocks are like, scams, man. They're like the virus bullshit, scam and all that shit. And then when the head of the monster, INO, SPACs, all these things tank down, they all follow. So one guy tanked down, everything followed. And so it halted and then boom. I got a sick ass cover at 185. So how did I make all this? How did I do this? I didn't know it was going to halt down. I didn't do this. I just stuck to my process. So here's some prints, man.
It was a sick trade, dude. I think I had like 8,000 shares. 247, and then took some off on the way down, and then added some more. So this was the beginning trade, which was this trade, right? This was the trade you see. So the big trade was actually was this one. So when it went back up, I just started, dude. Any chance I got, I was like, so this 237 was this right here. 207, 247. So I'm like, dude, I want in, because this is my low-hanging fruit theory. And then I'm like, dude, this thing, there's so many bag holders here from the previous day. That's why I'm okay to start scaling in slowly in the beginning. And then I started heavily scaling in the top. And I got hell lucky. I went all the way up here. And then when it opened back up, boom, I got hella lucky, dude. I covered as much as I fucking can. 185. So, I mean, sure, I got lucky. Sure, I got lucky, guys. But what you say, well, you know what we say? We always say this, man. The more you practice, guys, the more you practice, the luckier you get. You know, I may not get lucky all the time, but you know what, man? If I keep doing this, eventually luck is going to be on my side. You create your own luck, guys. If you keep doing what you're doing, eventually you will get lucky, and you can get lucky every single day. The key is to have a strategy, to not panic, to not try to overtrade too many things. You know what I'm saying? This one account, I just traded this stock only. So I'm gonna stop there, guys. I don't want to get too much into this because we have videos on this, and this is what we teach members every single day. The guys, the members are in here. Can you just comment? I mean, give us thumbs up. I mean, this is what we talk about every day, right, guys? There's no secret. We are not teaching anything that we're not doing ourselves. Let me bring on a member, actually. Let me bring on a member. Who wants to get on, guys? Who wants to get on, guys? And talk about the MIC process, and then we'll end with that. Who wants to get on and get someone that I haven't seen before, actually? Raise your hand if you want to get on, and I'll bring you guys on. You see all these thumbs up, guys. This is exactly what we're doing every day. I'm glad that you guys are giving this thumbs up, because there's a lot of people that are skeptical, guys. And I, as someone that's been scammed in the past, my first experience with penny stocks when I was 27 years old, it's like a long ass time ago, right? I got scammed. There was a guy that was like, oh, I'm a good trader, you should follow me. So I started following this guy, and I lost all my money. And it turns out he was paid, right? He's a paid guy. And then he got my money, and then, I'm like, fuck you, I'm gonna learn to trade myself. And then, this is what happened. So it became the journey for myself. And so I was really pissed off. And so that started me to try to learn on my own. But man, you know how long it took me to learn my own? Like 10 years. Like, geez, 5 to 10 years. It was really hard to get to the point where I am back then. I was like, it took over 5 years of just trying to hack it. And so what the problem I had was, I didn't have a process. I didn't know what the process was. I didn't know what a risk management was. I always thought trading was gambling, that people got lucky, and it was my job just to get lucky. And so I didn't realize that you can actually make money consistently. I thought it was only for the guys on TV, and then we were just suckers trying to just get a little piece of the pie. And so one thing that this is a unique thing about MIC. Before us, people weren't even talking about process, man. No one was talking about process. People weren't even talking about risk management. They were just talking about pumping their own book. They're like, oh, I'm in this stock. Buy low, sell high. Shit like that. And that shit doesn't work, guys, over time. Because what happens is over time, luck runs out. But dumb, blind luck runs out over time. You need a consistent process. And the process consists of the proper strategy, obviously. How do you know what fucking works and what doesn't? I spent so much money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, losing to figure out what worked and what didn't. I came from the same thing that most of you guys think. Oh, if I just got the secret indicator, this holy grail indicator, I'm going to make money. Because that's what I'm missing. I'm missing something on my chart. Because something on my chart is making that guy profitable. No, dude. There is no magic
holy grail bullshit, guys. It's basically discipline, proper risk management applied with the proper strategy. Okay? And strategies do not work 100% of the time. That's why you need proper risk management for the times that it does not work. You do not want to make money every day for 7 days and give it all back on one broken, messed up trade. Because you think, oh, it worked 7 times before, it has to work the 8th time. No, it does not. It doesn't even have to work the 2nd time. And that's where risk management comes in. You make money consistently. Over time, if you follow the same process, that your process will yield you profit after profit if you keep your risk management plans intact. So those are the tips, man. The tips are keep doing what you're doing, risk management process, and why are you trying to... This is the thing that's really stupid. I mean, it's like, if you're losing $180 or more, guys, it's a no-brainer you should join. Because, I mean, you would lose more than that, you know. I've lost a lot, and so my point to you guys is that we do these IG lives. Sure, we want people to join. Sure, you know, it'd be nice to grow our membership base. Sure, all that good stuff. But more importantly, we want the right people. We don't just want to get rich. So you notice the style that Alex and I and everybody else in MIC, the personality, the culture, it's not, boom, I made all this fucking money today. You know, I didn't even show you my P&L. You know, it doesn't fucking matter about that. I mean, we did okay, right? So the point is, I'm not here trying to tell you that trading is easy. It's fucking hard as shit, guys. It's hard as shit. And so if you are going to trade, why not give yourself a chance, right? Now, why not give yourself a chance to be successful? Why are you being like everybody else? And so I'm going to bring someone on because someone probably could talk better than I do. I've been saying this. Let me see who is a new name. Raise your hand, guys. Just give raise your hand like this. And I'll bring one guy on. All right, cool. This is John, right?
Mr. Alaska. This is cool. Well, we got a guy all the way from Alaska. Who's waiting for AK Wildlife? Hey, what's up, brother?
Can you guys hear me?
Very, very softly, but try again.
I'm at the gym right now, so.
Oh, you're on the dude. Weren't you on the gym last time I talked to you too?
6 days a week, man.
That's awesome. I think last time I was talking to you, you were also on the gym. That's how I remember.
Yeah.
So how things going?
Good. You know, this is crazy times with all the volatility, but you know, it works well with my. I'm trying to get out of the light so it doesn't glare. Sorry.
Okay.
But it works really well with my small cap, and then option trading gets crazy when volatility is like this. So I've been a lot more active in my option trading as well.
So tell us. I mean, you listen to what I said. So what do you think? The process. I mean, if you could help these young guys out, what's some advice that you can give them?
So you know, I've been trading options for many years. I started small caps almost 3 years ago, and the biggest thing I was missing, I was profitable before I joined MIC. I joined MIC, I think in January of 2018. It's a little over a year now, and the biggest thing that I was missing was able to like kind of set a process up to do I could do day in day out, look for specific things that met my personality. That was the hardest thing. Is, you know, you see everybody, they say, you know, they're looking at this, they're trading that on Twitter, but the biggest thing that you kind of miss is it doesn't always fit how you trade and how you know, your risk management, your personality. So that's kind of what MIC has.
So look at this. This is the thing that's I want to point out to people. John is a good trader before MIC. And he still wants to learn to be better. That's the thing people don't understand. People just think, once I know the basics, I don't need anybody. I'm just gonna go and kick butt by myself, right?
No, it's really been more. And the biggest thing was I've always been super disciplined. It's just been my lifestyle with going to the gym, eating healthy. So that hasn't been the problem. The problem was always getting something you can do day in, day out, repeat it, and stick with it, right? And that's what MIC has really helped me. The members, Bao, Tosh, Joe, all kinds of Chicago trader with his fundamental videos. I watch, like I said, I've been doing this for a while. I have a family, a full-time job. So I watch whenever I can the videos, and it just, any nuggets I can pick up to apply, into my trading, that's what I do. And so, like I said, before I found MIC, I was in multiple chat rooms, option chat rooms, regular stocks, small caps. And, I actually I think about a month ago, I signed up for the lifetime MIC because I truly believe in MIC. So it's that important, I believe. So.
And I mean, John goes above and beyond. He's now created videos for us for options. So the crazy thing is like the ideas, the process, all this can be applicable towards all sorts of trading styles.
Correct.
It's not just see, people think like, I have a strategy. I don't need anybody. It's not that. It's the mindset as well. John helps us with the mindset. It's all inclusive. You can't have a hole anywhere and expect to survive in this game for a long time, right? If you got the best entries, but your risk management sucks, you're still gonna die, right? If you have a best process, but your strategy sucks, you will die. So
let me expand on that because you just mentioned it's kind of triggered a thought. But so before, like I said, I was profitable. What would happen would be is I'd have like 5, 6, 7, 8 days straight. A couple $100, $500, maybe 1,000 here and there, and then I'd lose 1,200, 1,500, 1,800, and I'd still be green month after month after month. But it wasn't where it'd be a couple thousand, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. And by able to putting these, I use hard stops when I'm trading small caps. Options are a little bit different, but I'm a little more conservative. But one thing I've also learned is be aggressive when it's time. So when the volatility is there and premiums are way, way jacked up like now, I'm a lot more aggressive. Well, same thing with small caps. When things aren't moving, you're scalping, you're not trying to be aggressive. You're not taking big positions or anything like that. So those types of things I've been able to refine and learn and put in my process because that's what I've learned from the MIC. And, now, like I mentioned, I think January, I'm working full-time, $10,000, two red days the whole month. In January, February is a little bit just some options, some trades. I was still green, but nowhere to, and right now, I'm up like $4,000 on the month already this month. And the majority,
dude, that's phenomenal, man.
Like I said, volatility plays, option plays that are volatile, and small caps. I really only trade usually what I've learned through, and one of the biggest things that helped me was I paid for trade review. You don't have to. There's a free one, but because I trade options, you have to, in order to get option trades in there, you have to do the paid one. So I did. So what I started doing was tracking every single, like what the float is, like all kinds of things that I could track, like float wise, day one movers, first green day, everything I could. And I found that I really suck at first green day on floats under 3 million, period. So now I don't trade them at all. Like I don't even locate them just so I don't get tempted. And then I go after day 2, day 3. If it runs multi-days, then I wait for first red day. I know what I'm good at and I know what I suck at. And
that's awesome. That is pretty much your process now.
Exactly, and that's the process. And it was really, I kept a journal, but the trader view imports everything. You can put your notes, your thoughts. You see the chart. You see your executions. And what I found is, if I am shorting, usually, especially the first, on those first day runners, if I short after 10-ish, I still follow the zombie rule. But if I'm early, like 9:40 and before, I got crushed usually because I was too early or I shorted up on the lows. I wasn't waiting enough. So that's really what's helped me the most and help develop a process. Because a lot of times what was confusing is people keep saying process. Well, what the heck does that mean, right? That's what I think is for new traders. You don't even understand what that process means. It's like this holy grail indicator. So the process is finding out where you're good at and cutting the stuff that you're not out completely and be disciplined. And I screw up every day, every week. I still chase entries. It doesn't matter how hard you will do it, and tell yourself, because we're human. But if you can minimize that and cut them out as best as possible, you'll be successful. Period.
Correct. That's great. In terms of the chat room, I mean, have you met a lot of people?
I've met quite a few, actually. I've actually met a couple face-to-face.
Because you're in Alaska, right? I mean,
in Alaska, yeah, I traveled. So I really wanted to go to the Arizona one. I used to live in Arizona, went to school in Arizona, but it's hard for me just with work and family right now. to be able to get up. I think we found out about it like 2 weeks in advance. Otherwise, I would have been in Arizona because I have quite a few friends. And I worked in Phoenix. I went to school in Flagstaff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe the next meetup. I know there's one in, you guys are looking at, I think, Dallas. So,
Yeah, that'd be the main anniversary one. That'd be great.
yeah, so
2 years,
I'm
man.
excited for those.
Yeah, the reason I mentioned this is because, like, man, when I traded before all this stuff, it was very lonely, man. And that's what caused me a lot of losses. When I'm so bored and lonely, I have no one to talk to, nothing to do. I'm just like, well, just dabbling, just start messing around, and so the environment. It's like, this is the thing that people don't understand. If you've never been in a chat room like this, there's two types of people. There's people that could be overwhelmed, and like, I understand some people are introverts and all this, but I was always an introvert growing up. But it's just when you're typing to people, it's totally different than talking to them on the phone. I never talked to them on the phone, right? And so by this is just from my opinion. I cannot get to where I am unless I had someone kind of like there, kind of even now, like holding my hand, not really holding my hand, but just kind of like just shooting the breeze with me every day, because this sucks, man. This is like living in a prison. I just hate it. I just go crazy, and also being surrounded with people that are so motivating and wanting to succeed in the same manner you do, because like no one back home trades. I don't know anybody that trades like this, right? And so when you're having a bad day, I would be screaming at my girlfriend. They would be like, why the fuck are you screaming at me, right? And so now, because you just want to vent. Or when you have a good day, no one understands, because like you can't tell someone you made, let's say, $5,000, whatever the hell it is, and then the next day you lose like $5,000, and they're like, oh, you can make that every day, right? After a while, they think that you make that money every single day or something, right? So
it's been for me, it's been a really rewarding, community as far as just learning from other members. But that's why I chose to try to make some content on options, because I learned a lot. I've developed, my process. So I wanted to kind of give back my knowledge that I already knew, that a lot of people weren't trading, and just the basic stuff. I mean, I trade a lot more complex stuff than what I'm showing, but I've been trading since 2011 options.
correct.
And so I've been active, and it's been a pretty boring the last few years in options, because it's the same thing. When we have really crazy volatility, that's when it gets really fun with options. You can trade them all year, but it's same thing. It's all about why not wait for the opportunity. And like right now, there's a massive opportunity in that world, both ways, ups and downs. And I'm more of a neutral trader in options, so I like,
Yeah, we have
which direction it goes.
So that's a good point, John. Thanks. It's like, 'cause we have guys that are trading small caps, we have guys that are trading large caps now, options, and there's longs and shorts. So people think like, well, we only do one thing. It's the whole thing we're trying to teach people is, you know what, man, you need to learn the proper fundamentals first, such as process, risk management, technical stuff. And then once you learn that, you can apply to whatever strategy you want. But without knowledge of the fundamentals, like building a house, I keep using that analogy over and over. Like building a house, you need to build a solid foundation. The bells and whistles will come later. The same thing, like you worry about the faucets, what it looks like, the chandelier later, but your concrete foundation needs to be there. An earthquake comes, and everything else crumbles. So,
Yeah.
so I appreciate my members. I appreciate John. Now I didn't know you joined as a lifetime. So thank you, John.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming on, man.
Well,
And
I'm glad I had a chance. I have a day off for today, so I'm down visiting family and at the gym with what I do. Like I said, I'm 6 days a week at the gym. You gotta
it's awesome.
have organization and discipline in real life to be able to translate to trade. My personal
I keep telling people this all the time, and I keep telling this all the time. It's correct, man. People think, oh, do you have to have a master's degree, a PhD? You have to be super smart. The best traders, guys, are not necessarily the smartest. They're the most disciplined. Look at John. I'm pretty sure he's smart too, but the one thing that he excels above the most everybody else is discipline. So this gives the rest of the world hope in terms of not like all of us are born intelligent or went to college, all that stuff, right? But we can work on our own self. We can work on our discipline, and we have ways of doing it, like getting a tab, having all this stuff. I am the most undisciplined guy in the world, man. You see all the crap I eat. I don't. And so I can't like go to the gym 3 days a week straight, right? So, but we make do what we have. We make do with our own, but to be surrounded by people like John, who inspires us to be better. And I'm like, dude, this guy's at the gym. What the hell is at the gym?
on my day off.
On your day off. So, and then he's making videos for us too. So, I mean, that's
Wearing my
that's
Cobra hat,
awesome.
too, see? Look at that. It's backwards, but Cobra trading.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, John, I'm going to keep you up from your workout. I appreciate it. Thank you
Cool.
very
Well,
much for
good
joining,
to
man.
see you guys, and thanks for bringing me on, Val.
Hey, thanks, man. We'll see you out in the chat room. Thanks,
Goodbye.
man. Bye-bye. All right, I don't want to keep you guys too long, but so thanks, John, for coming. So basically, you know, that's great. I really didn't know all this stuff that he was talking about, meaning like he you know, he's been trained for a long time. He created videos for us. We know that. He recently joined as a lifetime. Thank you, John. But the fact that he was already a good trader prior to MIC. And so MIC helps people think it's just for beginning. No, dude, it's for everybody. I've been training for a long time. I'm still freaking learning. I'm learning from everybody, man. But basically, guys, to be disciplined, because if you hold yourself accountable, okay, you're going. So every day you make your habit. I first thing I do every day is I turn on my computer. I go to MIC. At night, I'm looking through the messages at MIC. I'm learning constantly from all this. So you surround yourself 24/7 with this environment. How can you not progress, right, guys? So surround yourself with like-minded people who are hoping and wishing and on their way, talking to people who are already successful. So that's the thing. This is a great opportunity, guys. I call it like the country club for the everyday man. So I'm an everyday man too. So thanks, guys. Anything else, Alex? I'm gonna cut it off here. We'll see you online. And text Tosh. Let me pull up Tosh's thing again as a final reminder. Let me text Tosh. Let me see. What's Tosh's number, Tosh? Let me see. Let me pull it up, guys. Sorry. Just for one more time. There we go. Thanks, Alice. 213-458. Okay, take a screenshot of that. All right, guys. We'll see you guys later. I want to keep you guys. Go back to work. Go back to eat. Go back to whatever you're doing.